we had a conversation about the names of God, and surprise, I got kind of sidetracked and went a different way. But I started talking about a time in my life where I just felt like I needed to relearn who God was. I had known him for about 10 years and trusted him and had seen him do amazing things and miracles in my life and other people's lives. And then there was a shifting where I just didn't feel like I was seeing those things anymore. And if I look back on it and kind of process through it, I really started in that same period of time to rely heavily on watching teachers. Like I couldn't gobble up enough teaching from people. Like if they were, I wouldn't just take anything. I would make sure it was truth, but I was listening to pastors that were on TV or like radio things that I liked. And I was reading book after book after book after book after book. And I would read the scriptures and keep a prayer journal. But I really feel like at that time, my main source was all this other stuff. And it's what a friend of mine calls chewed food. And I remember when she said that, I thought, oh, that's really interesting. And so a few things happened, like we would call on the name of the Lord for healing and the person wouldn't be healed. Or a marriage, we would see them, we'd call on the name of the Lord and we would see the marriage split. And we would call on the name of the Lord and things that we thought were going to go great that God was using as a blessing. It didn't feel like a blessing. It felt like, ow, that hurt. Like, what are you doing? And it really rocked that foundation of those first 10 years that I knew the Lord. I wasn't saved until I was 20. I came to know the Lord around like 20, 21. And the first 10 years, it was a long honeymoon. And I just saw like God performing miracles and amazing things. And it just very like visceral, very right here. Like I could just see. And then there were a series of events, maybe like early 20s, early 30s, just where it was different when I called on the name of the Lord. It wasn't the same as it was. Mm-hmm. And it was almost like a faith. It was a sifting. It was like not necessarily a crisis of faith, but it was a time where I had to really refigure out, okay, did I make up my own God? Like, did I make God to be this other thing? Because I thought that when I prayed for this was going to happen. And he said that if I do this, then this is going to happen, and because we don't, it's everything you were just saying about how, we don't see things. His ways are not our ways, and I was putting everything in the box of human reasoning and my finite comprehension and not in the big picture of what God is doing. And sometimes like, and that he is good. I'd kind of lost it. He is good. Because it's really hard when and now coming on the other side, I know that those who call on the name of the Lord will be saved. But how God chooses to save, what that looks like. I can say it means deliver, protect, heal, preserve, and make whole. But if it means heaven, are they healed? Yes. If it means, whatever it means to God, like to me, that's not healing. Like I want you healed and next to me so I can have a relationship with you. Right. But if God takes you home, are you healed or are you not? And so I think his ways are just, we put we read this sometimes and I think we put our human reasoning on it and kind of create our own theology and it has to be broken down. And so it was a good breaking for me, but it was very painful because I literally just had to go back. I didn't read any books anymore about what other people said about who God was or listen to a message or even a friend. I just went back to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and I was like, teach me who you are again because I'm kind of mad. I'm kind of like, I don't understand what's going on. And when I did and didn't listen to, and teaching's great at the right time when you need to hear it, but man, just focusing and learning who he was, just me and the scriptures was amazing. And it broke so many just paradigms that I had built. Oh, this God's like this, and he's like this, and he's like this. And it was like, pew, 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 in a good way. In a good way. And so I just felt this strong urge to learn who he was again, because I almost felt like somewhere, like a compass kind of going off and like going in the wrong direction. Somewhere I did that. And I almost made, without sounding too like super spiritual, almost made like my own false God. And then I had to rebuild trust again with the one true, real God, the one that I fell in love with in the beginning. And so what I did is I went back to the scriptures. And if you've never, and I encourage you, if this all sounds like gibberish and you don't know the Lord at all and you have no idea what I've even been talking about, this is still a great starting point. And then also for the disillusioned, disenchanted, maybe you're confused, hurt, offended, the walls came crashing down on your faith, or you're in a crisis of belief type situation and you don't really know what to do and you don't have anywhere to turn. I'm not going to say I have the answer for that, but I will say what helped me was going to what they call is the Gospels, which is Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and then I also read in Acts, because Acts is where Jesus begins to perform miracles, and it really showed me who he was again. And Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are accounts from different people of the life of Jesus. So with each book, you kind of see a bit of a different perspective about the same life. And so I did that. And as I did that, it would lead me to other places in the Word. And little by little, those false constructs that I had built, those idols, if you will, or just those paradigms that really didn't line up with who God truly was, began to fall away, and I began to trust him again. And I mean, now I can read books and listen to other people. I would listen to a teaching this morning, but I always know that I'm going to find the truth, like 100% truth, when I go to the Word myself and meet God here. So I just encourage you to do that.